Today we're going to be covering the training on your new website. I actually want to get the screen up and so you can see. Again, my name is Todd. I've probably talked to a few of you out there, and it's great to have everyone on here. Again, like I said, today we're going to be training or showing you how to train or how to use your website. Excuse me. We'll cover various things throughout the exercise, and yeah, basically we will cover a bunch of the basics. And a few things is that there's not a lot of people on, so what I can do is I believe we'll be able to open it up. Just looking here, I believe you can actually post questions if you'd like. Otherwise, I believe I'll be able to turn on the audio here towards the end. If you want to open it, we can open it up for any questions. So with that, we'll just get right into it. Just want to make sure that everyone sees the same screen, so we're good to go. First thing is, the main thing, of course, is, actually before we jump into that, I just thought of one other thing quick. Excuse me, is the logging into your site. You all will be getting username, passwords, that kind of thing sent to you. What I'll be doing after the webinar is be adding each one of your email addresses that we have on file to as a user account. So you'll be receiving an email after to create an account, essentially, to log in. Super simple instructions, and of course I'm always here with or able to help you in any way. First thing to do is, if you're looking at your website, as you see we have the Chiro Connect site up. Basically, this is what your site would look like if it was, or this is what our site looks like, essentially online, live to the general public or your audience. In order to log in and make any basic or any type of changes, editing, or reviewing of the site, you're always going to be typing in your URL at the top, like the .com. However, you're going to be adding the login /login. With that, that'll allow you to get to a page where you'll be able to sign in with your credentials. Of course, you will receive these, like I said, after the webinar today. Once you're in, you'll know that you're logged in. Obviously, it'll tell you if you didn't log in properly, but otherwise, it'll say at the top here, it'll have the Live Edit Aurora bar, which will have all the various different things that you can do not only to the site, but what we'll show is the basically the back end. All right, and I'm going to do a little change here so it can hopefully works a little bit better. All right, so basically at the top here, you're going to see the edit. This is probably the one you'll use the most. This allows you to use all the different features or plugins, as they really call them, whether it be adding text, images, videos, galleries, all that kind of fun stuff to your website. And we'll get into more of that here in just a few minutes. Design, probably won't be into this one as much. This is basically how your website is, all the design files and code and all that kind of fun thing. If you know what you're doing in code, go for it. Otherwise, if you are looking to change something, get in touch with us and we can help you and show you how. Pages, there's going to be a couple different ways, but this is basically all the pages to your website. Allows you to add or remove pages accordingly. Mobile, it will let you give you a mobile view of what your site looks like. And then what we're going to next is under the More, which is going to be the dashboard. And these are just some other quick links that you can have that are also in the dashboard. Excuse me. In the dashboard, you'll see all the different things. You'll have account information, backups, all that kind of fun stuff here. Basically, we'll run down the majority of them just so you have an idea of what is all there. Account info, basically it just contains all of your website information, meaning if you're ChiroConnect.com or Barnesville.com, that kind of thing, is that it'll allow, or it tells the interweb to come to your site specifically and has any other information pertinent if you did have a previous site. So that means it's called, in that case, it's called redirects. So basically it allows for your, for the internet to know that this is the new site. Backups, there are still some things going on, but they're basically some backups done so that all your files are saved. Blog, there is a blog feature in here, however it hasn't been created because you will be having the marketing done for you portal being either already has been created or in the process of being created. And at that point, once those are completed, we'll be reaching out to do training on that briefly and also show you how to not only enter or post a blog, but also how it all works along with the bi-monthly posts and, emails or social media posts. Next major one that we'll skip over the email marketing, which is the file manager. This pretty much works like the file system on your computer. Essentially, you have your folders with different other folders in there to manage where everything's at. That's exactly what this is. There's one mass amount of files all put together. However, you can organize them by however you want, whether it be home page, a contact us page, or if you want to do a gallery on a specific page, which I'll show you how. It'll be important to create a folder specifically for that gallery. Forms, you'll be able to create forms, which on most of, or if not all the sites out there do have them. These are like your contact us forms, or basically if anyone wants to get in touch with you without sending an email directly, they can fill out a form to ask a question, request an appointment, anything that you decide you want to do. You can edit and adjust or however create them in this area. However, you can also create them on the page itself, which we'll show you from that standpoint. All your sites will have Google Analytics set up on them. Each site will have it with a specific code set up, which we have created under our account. However, at any time, if you want access to that, we can definitely invite you to it, which will make it super easy. That way, you can view and review and see all the special things going on. See, I mentioned pages already, so there's another spot for it. If you really decide to, you can learn how to create a product page or a online store, if you will. It does have the ability. It's already built in, so it can definitely be done. Templates, again, this is back into the area of the design, so that's where all the codes and everything are sitting. And then lastly, you'll see users and groups. This will be the area in which I'll add each one of you accordingly to your site, and then also be adding, gives you the ability to add additional people if you decide. Basically, it's just adding in a user's email address, hitting create, and then after the fact, you'll come over here, and in this box, you'll just choose admin so that they have the ability to edit and everything from there. So, all right. So that's kind of just a quick rundown of what the dashboard is. We'll jump back to the home page here, and actually I'm going to find, I thought I had one up, but I'm going to go to a test page so that way I don't make any drastic changes to any major pages that we have. Let's see here. Instead, why don't we just create one? So now, I'll just go back here and show you again. In order to create pages, we'll use this, and then we'll use that page as we go forward. Just click on Pages. You're going to go to Add Item, and then you have the option to choose either a page alias. Biggest thing is that you're going to be either creating as a page or a menu. A menu is like a folder, and the page is, well, the page. So what we're going to do is just create a page today. And just give it a name, and this is what it will show as. And then you just want to choose where it's going. And I'm just going to put it in our miscellaneous file, or folder, excuse me. And all you have to do is hit Create Page. Be able to scroll down into, since we have it in miscellaneous, Training 101 Test. Now you can click on it to view information about the page, or, where'd it go? Or you can just hit View, and it'll bring you right to that page. And it's already got the design and everything all built into it. Now, if you're looking to change, edit, add, whatever it is to the page, all you have to do is click like I did on the Edit button. By clicking on the Edit button again, it'll open up all the different areas or options that you have in order that you can add. Just a quick rundown, and we'll go in through most of these, is going to be your text, so anything that has to do with words, obviously, or content that way. You can add specifically just images. You can add videos in, but we're going to talk about the next one would be a little bit better, which is called YouTube. You can integrate YouTube videos directly into the site. HTML, that's going to be used if you have anything special that you want to add to your site that was provided from like a third party. Some people have done Google Calendars, or might have a special service that they're signed up with that they can add what's called a script to the page. That'll allow people to sign up directly on there to go through maybe their reservation system or something. Gallery, like we had talked about, so those are those pictures that will pop up and you can scroll through. A form, like we had briefly talked about, allowing for your audience to contact you, ask questions, that kind of thing. Search, most of you are going to have a search bar, but we can always add it in accordingly if needed. A map, that is a Google Map function, so literally by typing your address in, you can, or any address for that matter, it will automatically generate a map on the page where you place it. And the rest of them are kind of a tricky one, and they're related to something different. Excuse me. But we'll start into the first one here, which is text. And everything in your website is basically what they call drag and drop. That means anytime you want to move something, show something somewhere else, or add something, it's just a matter of holding, dragging, and dropping where you want to place it. Now, as you can see, I'm going to close this for a second and I'll drag it back, is that all these different areas that we have set up on this particular page is highlighted in red with either an Area 1, Area 2, Area 6. Those are all the content areas. Each of yours is going to be a little bit different. However, the premise is the same, is that basically anything that you place in that particular content area, where it's the entire box, it acts as your margin. So anything you place in this case, Area 1, will go across the entire page. Anything on Area 2 or Area 3 be within those specific areas. All right, so first thing I did was dragging text over, dragging a text area in the box. That allows you to, like I had said before, is basically placing text. However, this is an area that you'll be able to do a lot of different things on there. Basically, what it allows you to do is add in text. Excuse me. You'll be able to format it in a sense of basically how your site currently works is what they have is what's called headers or the titles, and you'll be able to edit or add those accordingly to your text. To do that, it's under Formats, click Headers, and you can click, in this case, H1 or the header one, and it'll automatically make it a title like that. Once you're done doing anything in here, which we're going to show you some more, but basically after that is that anytime you're done doing something, if you hit Save Changes, it'll automatically save. You can take it out of edit mode, and it'll show you exactly, it'll be, as of that moment, live on the internet. However, obviously, if someone's on that page, that person would not be able to see it unless they refresh their page. So we're going to go back in there. Now to edit anything that's in on that particular page, you can see as I roll a mouse over there, you can see it kind of change a little bit. What we can do is actually click that button, or click that area. Oops, try it again. And it'll pop back up. This will give you the option to do some editing. You can, from here, you can add pictures. Let's say you wanted to add a picture to it. You can do an insert or edit image, and that's what this little guy is here. And you can see a lot of these things here in the formatting are a lot like Microsoft Word or other similar document programs. If you're not sure which one is which, you can just hover over something and it'll tell you exactly what it is. So in this case, we're going to add an image into this area. Another little pop-up will come in front of you, and you'd be able to choose your file, and that's what the source is. Once we click this, this is going to take us to our file manager. And of course, you see we got a lot of different things in here. And so there's definitely a lot that you can choose from. And of course, anytime that you want to add more pictures, there's a couple different ways of doing it. One is you can always click on this spot, which will pop up a window. Then you can choose the pictures you want to add. The other option is if you did have your window open, for example, if you had it open like this and you had a picture you wanted to, oh, I know what I'm going to do. Let's see here. We'll just grab this one. You can always just drag it over and drop it in. So there's different ways of doing it, and if you wanted it specifically in a folder, you can choose that particular folder and drag it right in that area. All right, so we're just going to choose a handshake. Now it's going to automatically, regardless of what size the image is that you put into the file manager or the website, it'll automatically create or have certain sizes available, which will allow you to choose them individually. So in this case, we're just going to go with the big one right out of the gate. So we click the size we want, hit close, and then now we have a link here of where that location is of that image, and you can click OK. Now obviously it's going to be really large, and it's on the side of the text that we don't necessarily want. We have the option to move it to the right or bottom, that kind of thing. So as I got the image highlighted, I'm going to go to the top here, and I'm going to click the Align Right button, and that's going to allow it to align to the right of the area it's in. Hit Save Changes, and there it is. All right. Now, another nice thing is that a lot of people like to use is being able to link or, well, two different ways is linking to an outside page, like somebody else's page, or linking to another page within their your current site. To do so, let's just remove all. If you don't like formats, by the way, you can always go do one of two things: is go into Edit and hit Clear Formatting. Oops. Or click on the header and it'll remove it, or whatever one that you did have selected for format. So, like I mentioned, there's two different ways people will typically link. You can also do images, that sort of thing. I'll show you that too in a minute. To link to another page, basically you're going to choose the word you want. In this case, we're using text. And then at the top here, you're going to see basically chain links. You can do an insert or edit link or remove a link if there's one there that you don't want to use anymore. To add it, all you will do is click the insert edit link. A little window will pop up, and then you can type in or paste the link that you want to use. So the first one we're going to do is within inside your current site. So if it's on your current, if you're trying to go from your home page to your Contact Us page or an About Us page or something similar to that, in order to link it properly and most effectively, you'll do the following format, which is / pages / and then the name of the page. So we'll just say About Us. The rest of this is just to verify, so the text to display, which they want to show. You can add a title if you'd like. Target, that's if you want to leave it on the same tab that you have open or open it in a new one. In class, you don't have to worry about any of that. And then just choose OK. There, it'll show that it's a link. You can save changes. And now you have a link. And of course, I don't have that one set up really now. So it would go to the page that you had chosen. The other option is to do a page on another website or somebody else's website. It's done the same way. However, you would type in the full address. So it could be, let's do, I'm trying to think of a fun one that we could do, but I'm kind of not thinking of one that would be good. So we're just going to go with so we're going to type in barnesvillecairo.com. Now, one thing I do recommend is when you do a site or link to a site that's not yours, is under Target to choose a new window. What that'll do is open another tab for that when the person clicks on it. That way, if someone is still looking on your site, they can still easily get back to your page or your site and continue to look, rather than staying in the same window, and then they'll have to continue to hit the back button and so on. So from here, we're just going to click OK. Then you're probably going to see something like this. It says the URL entered seems to be an external link. Do you want to add the required HTTP prefix? Always say yes. Otherwise, the link will not work. It's kind of a fail-safe that it catches it for you. It's kind of in the code world. You do have to include that. However, you never have to remember it. So we're going to hit Save Changes. Then, if we click it, you can see another window opens, and we go to another site. Hop back in. I'll turn that one off there. Now, I did mention that you can do images and link to those. There could be two different ways. Obviously, if we had an image in here, you can link it, or which is done the same way. Or, which I'll show you next, is how just to add just an image to an area. So it's drag and drop. Now it's going to skip all the other stuff we already did and just go right to having you choose something. So we'll just choose hand on mouse. Now when you first enter an image, it's going to give you a suggested size, which is the ideal way to go. By doing it this way means that by placing it in a content area, the image, if someone were to go to your mobile page, they would see that same image, but it would be adjusted accordingly, and you don't have to do any editing or anything like that. It does it all for you. If you would like to link this picture, you click on the Advanced tab and scroll all the way down to the bottom here, and you can type in your link, whether it be /pages/about us for internal or an external link. And then, of course, you can change that also, which is the new window or same window. Hit Save Changes. Oh, I forgot to do something prior to that. Whenever you place the image for the first time, you do have to place the image. So that was my mistake. So you got to hit this first. There it is. Now, as you can see, my mouse turns into a pointer so that it means it's a link. All right. So another nice thing too is if you don't like that image here, I mentioned drag and drop, so you can always move it to another area. Let's say you want to put it on above this area. It will stay the same because that's what you suggested it as, that size. But it makes it easy that you can move it around. Same with the text. And you can move it wherever you see a red box, which is really nice. All right. Next thing I want to show you is YouTube. Now, if there's any videos out there that maybe you've had done or created, or maybe there's one that you found that you really like, you're able to place it on the site quite easily using YouTube. You're absolutely able to upload your videos that maybe you took on a phone or a video camera or something. However, it's always recommended that if it is to create a YouTube account. The reason for that is twofold. Is that it basically exposes you as your business out on the web more, in this case social media through YouTube. Second thing is that if you have your video uploaded to YouTube and you just add it to your site is just showing it, where YouTube is doing all the heavy lifting or playing the video for you. That way it won't slow your site down when it comes to loading or anything like that. What I'm going to do is go to YouTube really quick. And this looks fun. I don't know what it is, but if anybody remembers the show Elf, I used to love that. So we're just going to pause that for now. So now we're on YouTube, and let's say we want to add that to our site. Well, if you scroll down just a little bit here, you'll see the word share. It's going to give you a couple options here. It'll say share with a link, or embed, or email. What we're going to do is just share. We're going to copy this link, Control-C, or right-click and copy. We're going to go back to the page, and then we're going to drag YouTube into an area. We'll just drop it here, and it's going to pop up and ask for the ID or URL of the video. So if you hit Control-V, it will now paste it there. Hit Save Changes, and there it is. Ready for you to play, just like it was if you was YouTube. Another nice thing, too, is that by placing it that way is if I mentioned drag and drop, this one will adjust the size according to the area it's in. So if you were to drag it from area 4 to area 2, which is larger, it will resize to be larger, which is quite nice. So that's a basic on YouTube. Another nice one to use, or a lot of people use, or the next two I should say, is the gallery and the form. First is the gallery. Gallery is exactly what it is, a gallery. It's a group of pictures that you want to show people. To create it or to have it added to your site is quite easy. It's another drag and drop to where you would like it. Then this will pop up. It's going to look a little bit different than maybe you've seen before with the file manager. However, this is still a version of the file manager. At this point, this is where it's important to have, excuse me, for all the pictures you want, specifically, just those pictures in one dedicated folder on your file manager. There's all different ways of doing it, especially if it's here or if you create it on your, I'm just trying to see if I had one set up. I thought I did. Now we'll just use this one. Maybe. I'm sorry, I thought. Yeah, we'll use these. I don't know what these are, but we'll use these. So this means is that we've chosen or created a gallery. Basically, is these files are already up in the file manager. Now I'm going to open a quick window here. And log in. And I'm going to go to our dashboard and file manager. So basically, you have the option to create your folder here, or there we go. Or you could do it in here, which I think it's easier because to move things around in here, the main file manager that is. So under here, if you want, under My Files, we're going to do if you see a little gear next to it, you can click that and it'll say Add, and then you can enter a folder name. So you can go Test Folder. Say OK. And under Test Folder, as you see, we have 0 pictures on there. But if you wanted to upload the pictures here, all you would have to do is click Upload File. It's going to open up that that Dropbox, or not really the Dropbox, but an area that you would be able to drop your files into. For example, we can drag it right here, and it's done. So that's basically the easy way of adding. You can also select multiple files and move those all at the same time. But for this demonstration, what we'll do is just continue to use these 5 pictures. And to kind of give you a run through is that you have your gallery type. You can do a lightbox, a basic, or a slider. Slider is the ones that you see typically on like home pages where it has a couple images that will show for a minute, well not a minute, but a few seconds, and then go to the next picture and keep sliding through. Lightbox is, if you've seen it, you probably clicked on them before and didn't realize it, but that's the one where when you click on it, it'll do a little pop-up window almost, and it'll have just the picture where you can see the website behind it almost faded. That's the most common one that people use, and that's the one I'll show for this demonstration here. So, and then you have the option to choose different size of the thumbnail. Thumbnail is what's going to show on the website for people to click on. So there's tiny thumb, there's thumb, square thumb, gallery, original. Most of the time, if the pictures are large, you don't want to do original. I would say actually 90% of the time I end up going with tiny thumb, because if you have more than like 4 or 5 pictures and you use just a square thumb or a regular thumb, it's going to take up a lot of space on your site, and you just assume make it smaller. And you can always add text in another box to say, please click here to view our gallery, kind of thing. So we'll leave that as tiny thumb. It says include file name. Now, if you renamed your pictures, you could create a name for them, or title them. You could include that. However, I always choose not to. That way, it's just a lot easier. It's just pictures. And then the image size is gallery. And that's by default, and I definitely recommend staying at that, because then it won't be too big for the screen or anything like that. Once you're done, all you have to do is hit Save Changes. And now we got those 5 pictures, right there as part of the gallery. Now, one thing I did mention is it's good to have text right by it. Oops, we'll do it this way. You can see you can add text box wherever you want. Give it a little look to it. And I'm just going to get rid of these quick. Taking up a lot of space. You can see it's really easy just to click and delete. And there it is. So to view the gallery then, when you click on it, it'll view. It'll give you the image, and you can click Next. Easily skim through it. And of course, just hit Close if you decide to be done with it. And just to show you what it looks like, if you were to click on it and choose the different sizes, you can see it would take up much more space. So that is the gallery. The next thing I want to show is just the form. I'm just going to do a basic run through of it. Of course, like I said, this is kind of a basic thing, so it's not like it's need a lot of them, but it's also helpful if you decide that you want to change something. But of course, we're here to help at any time. To add a form, it's just a matter of dragging the form to an area that you want to place it. I think we'll actually scroll down, and I'll put it in this one. So this window will pop up when you add a form. You always want to give it a name. In each of these sections that we'll add, there's going to be some information that you can update or change. You can do the show name, which is this. So you can say, no, I don't want to show it, or yes, I do want to show it as a title. Display is typically default. We really don't need to change it, and that's just if you want it to show it, look a different way. And you can always play with it if you decide to. Then you can always change the email address. You can, by default, show a confirmation page that will pop up and say show, that will show the message of thank you for your submission. Or you can actually have it emailed directly to them when the email option is added up here. To add different areas, it's quite simple. It's just a matter of knowing where everything is at, but you have a basic and advanced tab. It's going to be kind of mixed up of where you have everything, but the main one you want to add, of course, is like a name. You can add, and it's just, as you can see, just click and drag. Email address. Oop. What's going on here? There we go. That's weird. I don't know what's happening there, but we'll just do that. Something didn't like me there for that moment. Well, as you saw in the first one, it actually would drag over quite easily, but for whatever reason, it's not doing that now, and that's really odd. So, yeah, I apologize. I'm not sure what's happening with that and why it's not working right at the moment, but as you can see, it's just a matter of dragging the particular fields over that you want to capture the information of. Most common are going to be your first and last name, an email address, which is just email, which I was trying to do, a phone. In this case, it's labeled as US phone, but you can change however you want it to show here. And let's see here, if you want to capture address, you can. That's all in advanced. Under basic, you can add text areas, you can do drop downs, that sort of thing. And I wish I could show you, but I don't know why it's not adding. So I'm more than happy to walk you through individually if you decide you have questions on it or want to edit, learn how to edit the one that's already on your site. And then finally, the last you want to add is, of course, submit. That'll allow you to, or users to submit their information accordingly, in which at any point, as long as you have your email address in there correctly, like here, it will direct to you as an indication or notification that you do have someone that filled it out and information. And also there will be another spot that you can always view them, which is on your dashboard under form. And then whatever the form is, you can do either view data or an export or an Excel spreadsheet export. So, yeah, I apologize for that. I'm not sure why that wasn't working right. Could be my computer, I think. To say it's getting grumpy. Later in the week kind of thing. The last thing I just want to show you quick is the, and then we can open up for any questions, is just the map. It's quite easy. You can just add it to wherever you want. Yeah, something is not right here. I should be able to add these things in, but it's not letting me. So there's definitely something with my computer here. So bear with me one quick second here. I'm going to try something. There. So that page apparently is working. So we'll just add it in there, and you can just type in your address. Hit Save Changes. And then you get a map. And that's exactly where we're at. And this other part right over in here is actually where the state fair is going on right now here in Minnesota. So very busy, exciting time around this area. The other thing I was going to mention too is, of course, the drag and drop. Oops. You can drag it to another area, and of course it'll resize for that specific area. Let's just try this one more time here to see if it will work for us. Sure does. That's really strange. So like I said before, is you can add email address, phone numbers, those kind of things. You can always change the label. So here it says US phone. I always just change it so it says just phone. And of course you can do your submit, save changes, and you got a form. And that is the basics of running your website. A couple things I did want to mention, of course, we do have on our website not only our support page, so you can feel free to fill out a form accordingly, and I'll definitely get in touch with you with any of the questions or anything you have on that. Also, while you're in the live edit area, there will be a very good help section that is available that was created by LiveEdit itself. You're more than happy to look at it at any time, but of course we're more than happy to help you answer any questions, walk you through anything that you may need to. But this will give you a lot of in-depth guides on everything that we kind of covered, whether it be editing or learning more about it. So let's see if I can figure out how to add everyone. All right, so I unmuted everyone. If anybody out there has any questions or anything that maybe I missed or want clarification on, I'd be happy to answer them for you. And if you don't, that's fine. Or if you want to send them my way first or after the webinar, please feel free to do so. There's nobody. Well, that's a good sign. I must have did a really good job then. Well, at any time, if anybody does have any questions, feel free to contact me. Again, like I said, you can head over to our support page, fill out any information you have there. Of course, most of you should have my information. Otherwise, I want to thank everyone who did join us today, and appreciate all the your business, and of course anything that we can do to make it better, your experience better. Please let us know at any time. Thank you again, and I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their day, and also as we get it closer to the weekend, enjoys their weekend.